Hey guys, so with fewer houses on the market than we've literally ever experienced in the past, today is we're third week in October, and as of October 1st, our market here in Atlantic County was down 15% year over year. So from January 1st through October 1st, the market was down 15% with total number of residential listings to come onto the market. That has left us in a severe shortage of housing, and the result is we're seeing multiple offers in many situations. I'm Anthony Delicandro, Compass Real Estate. I'm going to share my screen and share just a couple of examples and ways that we are helping buyers win the bid, right, in a bidding war, have the successful offer that's chosen by sellers, some things that we're doing to prepare, because we're seeing this more and more in today's market. So I'm going to jump right in. So how to prepare for a bidding war. First of all, for those that don't know, we don't really like the expression bidding war. Like, there's nothing exciting about it. It's frustrating for buyers and sellers. You know, maybe sellers are a little bit are benefiting because they're seeing higher prices being paid, but there's nothing that's exciting about the process. Certainly as a realtor or as a buyer, of course. And so what I wanted to do is, you know, we've had multiple offer. I personally have been in multiple offer situations a couple times over the last couple weeks and have been successful putting together the right package, the right presentation for a seller to choose our offer. And I just wanted to share some of the experiences. So one is just to know, right, how to prepare for a bidding war. 55% of homes that were sold in August resulted in a bidding war, whereas we prefer or as I prefer to describe, multiple offers, right? So more than one buyer making an offer. 69% of homes were on the market for less than a month. So we have an extremely fast-moving market. As soon as listings come onto the market that are priced appropriately, we're effectively seeing them sell very quickly. So with fewer houses available today, competition is extremely hot. We have to be prepared and prepare ourselves with these couple of tips. Number one, have financing lined up. This should be a no-brainer. In 2020, most buyers are being encouraged highly by peers and professionals alike to get a pre-qualification, right? 44% of today's prospective home buyers plan to apply for pre-approval when beginning their home search. Pre-approval helps you stand out as a qualified buyer. We have to, I see Steph's watching, what's happening? We have to prepare ourselves in this case to make it as easy as possible for sellers to choose us. One of which is just get pre-approved, have your ducks lined up in that row. Number two, know what you can afford, right? You have to know this before you start looking at homes and getting overwhelmed because you're looking at something and there's already multiple offers. Know what your budget is. Know what you're willing to spend. Know that today's interest rates are allowing you to spend more money than you may have been able to 6 or 9 months ago or even 12 months ago. So your money definitely goes a lot further in today's market, and that's one of the reasons that the market is incentivizing buyers to be as aggressive as they are in these multiple offer situations. So know how much you can afford, what you can go up to. Third, and what I'd say is like most important, to make your best offer, right? There's a couple components to this. Number one is understand the seller's circumstances, right? And we have to kind of step inside the psychology of a seller. And I'm going to step back out of the screen share to kind of drive this point home. You know, we have sellers, as I mentioned, that are just as frustrated by this process as as buyers are. And it's not easy when you're receiving multiple offers to know what's going to be the best choice. And so when we're thinking about it, we have to think about what are they trying to accomplish. Are they selling a home we think about timing, like move-in dates. Are they selling a home that's vacant? Or do they live in it, and are they moving to another location? Do they have another home lined up that they're looking to move to? Some of this can influence what's going to be the best way to make an offer. Usually what my advice is, if a buyer has that flexibility, to turn around and offer that flexibility to the seller. If the home's vacant and the seller is looking for a very fast closing, then offer it. If they need time to find their next home and you have the ability to grant them that time, then offer that too, because that's what's going to be most attractive to that seller in that time. Number two here on the list is competitive offer price, right? Know the market, study your comps, talk to your agent about where values are, and be prepared to acknowledge that, again, this is a market that is, we're seeing prices being paid that conventional wisdom doesn't really apply, right? We have very, very low inventories, and with these low inventories, we have, and together with really low interest rates, so buyers' dollars, your dollars are going further than they ever have essentially before. We're seeing buyers really aggressive with what they're willing to pay because they don't want to lose out on this opportunity, and there aren't a lot of other choices. So like feel confident and comfortable that and accepting of the fact that it's not necessarily a conventional wisdom market. The other way that I'm looking at this is whatever the prices, and we're seeing some big price appreciations this year, but whatever those price jumps are, we're still far from the height of where we saw prices back in 2006 and 7. So we're still I'm recognizing that there's still good value being delivered in this market, even with appreciating prices. So be prepared to be competitive with what you offer. Lastly, minimal contingencies. This is again playing to making this process as easy as possible for the sellers. Obviously, there's a lot of buyers that are looking to obtain financing, right? Get pre-approved so you can offer as much security as possible for the sellers. If you're able to remove contingencies, then that's something that's going to be more attractive to a seller. If we're able to remove mortgage contingencies, that obviously is attractive. If there are no homes to sell, right, contingencies, that's going to be more attractive to a seller too. Obviously, these two things are not going to necessarily be available to anyone. The other couple of contingencies that I've worked with recently to make my offers more attractive to sellers: limit the exposure and limit the potential stress and heartache that you offer a seller with a home inspection. If the home is in reasonably good condition for what you expect, and you're not buying a brand new home, convey that to the seller. Let them know that you recognize it's not a brand new home. You're buying it and negotiating in good faith based upon the condition you're seeing it in. You recognize that the major systems, the major mechanical systems, should be and will be in proper functioning order for the inspection at the time of closing, but assure them that you're not going to nickel and dime them and give them a punch list of a bunch of maintenance items that you can take care of yourself after closing. Again, this is entirely up to your discretion. I strongly encourage everyone to get a home inspection, but at the end of the day, when you're dealing with multiple offers, you want to be really cautious, and you want to make your offer as attractive as possible. You want to consider things that are going to make the process as easy as possible for the sellers. Lastly is appraisal. And this is a little bit more sensitive, so I encourage questions directly to myself or one of our team members. I recently won a multiple offer situation where we removed an appraisal contingency, and I'll explain more in detail, but basically we removed the concern that a seller may have because the price went over asking price, right? The contract price we were willing to pay was over the asking price. So there's the fundamental risk that an appraiser steps in and does not value the home at the same level of the contract price, because the homes they're comparing it to are sales that occurred in the last, in some cases, 60, 90, or even 120 days. And as we know, the market's a lot different today than it was 3 or 4 months ago, not to mention that those transactions were negotiated a good 1 to 2 months before that. So just a couple of ideas on making your offer as competitive as possible. If you have any more questions or want to bounce a specific scenario off of me or any one of our team members, just shoot a direct message here. You can comment, or if you want it to be direct, just shoot me a private message, and I'm happy to answer any questions I can, and look forward to always offering hopefully the most valuable real estate content that's available in this market, and being the best form of market intelligence for you. So thank you. Have an awesome Wednesday evening here in October, and I will see you soon. Take care.